Does it sound like I'm from Belfast still? Yes, please, thank you. I've become more comfortable how I like to shoot in recent years, more so than I did maybe 10 years ago. So I like to do certain things. I get more enjoyment out of people in front of my camera who are having enjoyment, and I realise that, and the simplicity of stuff. So it's the connection to people. I don't know necessarily if I have a defined style of how I like to do things. In terms of, I light it this way and I do it that way, but I think my style comes from the connection of the people and the environment I'm in and the enjoyment hopefully they're getting from the shot. Or being involved with me, working with me on it. So style changes. It's changed 10 years ago when I picked up a different type of camera to use again, and it changed how I shoot then. And it changed 5 years ago in COVID because I got to reevaluate where I was at and what I liked. So style changes with you. If you ask anybody who knows me well, they probably think I consider myself a brilliant photographer, but that's not the truth, is it? But we're all good as we think we are, and we have to keep these little targets, these goals, I've always wanted to be shooting the biggest adverts, the biggest campaigns, or meeting or photographing the most important people. And I've done a lot of that. I've photographed a lot of these icons, and I've done billboards, and so I think essentially, yes, I am brilliant at what I do, but I don't know if I am. I always compare it to like the Premier League table or the Football League table. That you've got the top dogs who are always like Champions League, and then you've got the little middle ground guys who are consistently producing good standard, and then you've got, I think I'm probably definitely relegation promotion. I'm surprised myself a bit like Crystal Palace, and then the other years I'm a bit like Norwich, up and down. But here, that I can't bloody focus the thing. The camera has these little whispers and it hears them. I work really quickly and I work with a lot of energy and I work with spontaneity, with whatever's in front of me. Like, I want to get reactions out of people and I want to talk to them at the same time. So in a way, the camera's like, it hears all those little moments of me going, right, okay, cool, fine, okay, fine, let's do this. So little whispers. But the camera doesn't really know me as well as the people around me, obviously. It's like an old dog, like, it does what it needs and it obeys me, but it also rolls its bloody eyes at me. So the camera's like, just get it in bloody focus, Michael. How many, you got autofocus here, Michael? I've even got eye recognition here, Michael, for you. Can you just get this bloody thing in focus? And then it helps me out after that. So it probably tells me a few secrets when I don't. I like it to photograph my hands. Partly because I've got a problem with my right hand, and I think those little stories and hands tell a lot of stories. There's a famous song called Grandma's Hands. Those veins, those marks, those little things in here, all those little creases all tell different stories. And I think hands can bring out a little bit of the inner soul. They hold things, they throw things away as well. So I think hands tell a lot more than maybe something else. Plus, I don't know if anybody else wants to see anything else in my body. It's getting a bit tired. Yes, definitely, 100%. I have been doing that all my life without even knowing what manifestation was. Only recently, I think manifestation became like a buzzword for doing things and getting things to happen. And I think I've been doing that subconsciously or consciously throughout my life. Definitely 100% manifestation. Focus, drive, honesty, confidence, understanding my ability to do what I need to do, what I want to do. If you think and channel it enough, it becomes in the veins, it becomes part of the process, and actually happening over the course of time. So if you are driving and striving to get, do, or find, or whatever it is, and you're thinking about it, and you constantly go, right, this is what's going to happen, then it will happen, 100%. I've cried during a photo shoot. I did a campaign about knife crime, and I met a mum on the shoot, and she had to walk into this space with this sculpture which had knife holes in the sculpture, and they shone the light, and I had to stop and give her a big hug because I was crying, she was crying. And I think it was the situation. It wasn't the photo that made me cry. It was the total situation. As a parent, I was devastated. I volunteered to do the shoot as well. And she's such a brave woman to go into that room and experience a statue, a sculpture that had the stab marks of her son on this stab shoot, and she had to visualize that. But apart from that, no, I've never cried about an actual photo. I've cried after a shoot of 21 days in Germany last year. After that party set in my producer's kitchen, I sobbed. I was tired, I was exhausted, exuberated, full of pride. We hugged and we cried, but that's just because it was 21 days, 2 campaigns, and we missed family. But we had been on a roller coaster, you know. But yeah, it was good. Good tears. I don't think I smile out loud about photos, like a big beaming smile. I feel pride in them. I feel really proud of what I've done. I think, like, obviously one's the kids. So they always put little quirky little ones with the kids there. They make me smile with, you know, heart and love and joy. But like, I think I'm always more proud, a little wry smile of, did that. That's all right. So I don't think it's a beaming smile. I've never been a photographer that really carries a camera anyway, everywhere I go. Partly because of the situations I have to deal with. Like I've got too many children, I think that's. So like, you want to photograph your kids, but the cameras are hindered sometimes. So I think I've never put the camera down with the intention that I'm never picking it up again. No, not at all, no. I've definitely put the camera down to stop what I'm doing at that point in time because I'm enjoying the situation I'm in. I've already photographed that moment of something that's happened, but I also want to stop and witness what's happening in front of me and actually keep that. And I think obviously you've got those documented photographs of that situation, but there's a moment when you actually just want to be real. So that's maybe when I put the camera down, but I've never put the camera down as a sense of, I'm out, I'm done, this is over. No. It's a tool that enables me to see what I want to see or explain what I'm seeing to someone else, actually. That's what it enables. I can visualize things very well. I sometimes don't have the words to explain what I'm seeing or trying to showcase, so the camera enables that. The production via the camera of that visualized image that I'm trying to produce is my satisfaction. It's like, yes, there you are, like I told you, this is what we can do. I don't live and breathe the camera. If you want to know a little secret, a branded camera that we might have been discussing earlier, they lent me the camera and asked me something very similar questions, like, how has this camera improved your work? And I was like, it hasn't. It's a tool, it just enables me to open that window to explain what I'm trying to. I require the subject to do what I need them to do, so they've definitely got a huge element. I say it's 50-50. Because I need to direct them to be what I want them to be in front of the camera, and they need to be able to do that. But I also need to be able to construct that situation for them to do what they need to do. I have to create an environment, a comfortable environment, and something that allows them to be happy and relaxed. As we go through the shoot, doing more things, it's about me being able to create that situation a bit more, maybe up to 70% me. But it's my energy levels and all that goes into it. Whereas they just have to keep listening to me and doing what I ask them to do. So I thought, gee, that's a tough question. I don't know if I can answer that fully, but yeah, this question's a good question. Because we all get compliments on our work from various people, and only a few ever stay with us. And it depends who says it to you as well. Usually if it's like the client, you're like, oh yeah, great, thanks, amazing. I've had it a few times, is that someone said to me, oh, that was painless. I really like that because it was a painless shoot. So it was obviously the subject, and they've obviously been in a situation before where they felt it was a real struggle or something like that, or it's a real painful experience for them, and like to come and turn to me and go, that was painless. I really enjoyed that. You're like, well, this is what we're here for. Like, I'm not here to make your life working misery. Yeah, I'll take that compliment to my gravestone. Michael Leckie, photographer, made life painless. I live, and I still live, very much in the present. As a kid, I was just getting by, definitely. So I think, Jesus, I loved my sport. I always wanted to be maybe centre-back playing for Arsenal, or playing inside centre for Ireland in rugby. But like, you know, these things, I was never good enough, and those were all time and present things, you know. In fact, I think I even wanted to be in the NBA playing basketball. I think those were my thing, those things. Much to my frustration of my parents, I think, was just a coaster. Did whatever came to me, and that was fine. But I was also pretty chill about everything. Finding the photography, in a way, actually probably gave me a little bit of a purpose. It came easy. I went to art college, wanted to be a painter, but quite quickly learned art college I wasn't a painter, and very quickly realised there was a lot more deep thinkers, a lot more technically great painters and illustrators, and a load of them are still my friends today. But we also got showed the darkroom at art college, and I think that gave me a little moment, a little glimpse into how I could produce something that I felt happy with, which was instant in a way, because I obviously took the photograph, I could print the photograph, I could develop the photograph, I could then have the photograph, and then I needed to take more photographs to do that again. And I think that was the catalyst to find something like photography. That was it. I loved that. Found myself in the dark space, listening to Radiohead and drinking Red Stripe. Yeah, discovered that that was my vehicle to do what I needed to do. But then all the pennies start dropping, don't they? So, like, you suddenly realise that magazines that I looked at, I didn't read, I looked at the photos. Books that I picked up, I looked at the images. Stories that I made all came from an image. The stories I wanted to tell were told by an image. And all those little pennies start falling into place. You know, being dyslexic, not being able to read, not being able to write proper sentences. All those little things then fall into place because you pick up the camera, it's practical. You take a photograph, you're telling a story that you can see without using words that you can't understand, you can't eloquently use. And it all just goes, oh my God, my soul, my body, my everything's... I'm in a dark space, 4 cans of lager, listening to Radiohead. Dream. It's beautiful to capture a little moment, isn't it? And allow someone else to put their story to it. We can kind of indicate, we can use the signifiers, we can use the connotations or whatever is in that photo. 9 times out of 10, I am constructing my images to perform this story for that one moment. It's up to whoever's looking at that photograph to construct their own story. We can indicate what that story's about. Commercially, documentary styles, personally, we can try and indicate what we want, but it's up to the viewer to read that story. And I love that. Like, everybody has their own story from whatever they get. You know, they have their own thought process about it. I love reading images that way. You know, you go to the galleries, you go to exhibitions, and you go, oh, that's great. You know, when you put your own little spin on it, your mind goes off. If you look at my work, it's a lot of the stories right there in your face. You don't have to really worry about thinking too deep about it. But there's all those little bits behind as well, and you can construct the whole narrative around it. You know, there's a family in the front room, and it's Christmas. All right, well, we've made that story, but you put that story to it as well by looking at it. But all I've got is, you know, a young family, and you've a little hint of something going on, and you've put that piece to it. So yeah, everybody puts their own story to an image. We all make images, and particularly I do a lot of commissioned commercial work where I have to construct something that is made in an environment that is maybe not what we need. So authenticity, it's a natural reaction in that moment. It's a real person shouting, feeling, laughing. Laughing's a good one. I love a bit of smile. But that's the real connection to the camera, isn't it? That's the real production of the image. It's just getting that real moment with someone that I've working with, talking to, yeah. Getting a natural feel. Yeah, love AI. We already use it, so it's already in the camera. It's already in our software. Hands down, I think has benefits, and it's always got to be part of us. We've got to evolve. Society's got to evolve. Things got to evolve. But AI has to be controlled to a certain level, I think, as well. It's just, you know, we can't run riot with it. But Rick Rubin said the other day, I heard, that there's like, if you take 5 of the major AI bots, they're all learning from the same mainframe thing. So they're all learning from, I don't know what it is, but they may be learning from Google, for example. They're driving all that information from Google. They eventually will all be such a good level as an AI bot, learn the same thing from Google and produce the same thing. So if you ask them one question, the 5 bots will produce the same piece of work or whatever it is you've asked them to do. If you take that same question and ask 5 different directors or 5 different photographers or 5 different creative directors, you're going to get 5 different pieces of work, because we're relying on the same you're relying on the person, you're relying on their own individuality to create something which is never going to be created by the other 4 people in that situation. This is why we're fine. People need the authenticity outside of AI to create the moment still. So I think if you handed me that, I'll go off and run with it and do something I would do myself, whereas another photographer would take it and change it, do something completely different, but on the same premise of the same brief.
Do you know what, essentially, actually, I think I only do photography to try and be cool for my kids now. It doesn't work.
I want them to be proud of what I do, but like I don't think they've ever... I photographed the Gorillaz years back. I've done a press shot a few times now. I've photographed them a couple of times. All my kids love the Gorillaz now. And I think it's not my photographs, it's the cartoon element and the music that's it. But when I go, oh yeah, that's your dad's photo in that album, and they go, oh, what, really? Yes. So the truth is that they don't give 2 flying fucks about what I do or how I am, but they thought of it as that I have so many photographs of them that I hope they, maybe when they go get their own flat or whatever, they have a photograph that I've taken of them on the wall. And I go, I like that one. Oh, that's cool. That's it. So I hope they find something about me that I don't know. I hope they can pinpoint. I'm not that thoughtful, I don't think. Is that the right word for it? I don't think I analyse myself or find my inner peace that much or anything like that. I think I'm quite, I'm not a closed book, I'm quite open, I'm quite relaxed about everything. So there's 2 options here. So I found the roll film I maybe took a couple of months back on my dad's old Olympus trip camera for fun. They'll find some lovely black and white images, hopefully, that I haven't developed yet, which is just fine. Love it. But I was supposed to be telling a story of where I am now, in the present, and I live in the present, that's what I do. But if they find a roll of film, and there is rolls of film sitting in the drawer in my office that haven't been developed for 20 years, from back when I was studying, coming out of uni, photographing the bands, in a scene when skinny jeans and indie music was a thing. I hope they find something and go, that was cool, what is he trying to do there? But likelihood is they'll find some dribble, some absolute shite. But hopefully maybe they find something of a young aspiring photographer that was trying things. Yeah, I put the camera down out of spite just to kind of say, I'll need to go check something and then go on to check that in those situations. But my camera has actually broken in the middle of a shoot. I shoot for the leader of Jools Holland TV show. We've got the whole lineup, all the artists lined up for the big group shot. And I'm about to take the group shot with Jools in the middle of it, and my camera breaks. And it's like, we're time pressing here. We've got 5 minutes to get this shot. Artists waiting around in this melee that I've made and lit and things like this. And I've got the whole crew waiting to go live with the recording, and my camera breaks. And in that group shot is a famous photographer called Jill Fermanowski, who is photographed like Oasis stuff back in the day, real old school. So she was being interviewed on the show, and she obviously has a camera with her. And she jumps up and starts taking the group shot. It's all good. I just felt slightly uncomfortable because I had the broken camera, but me and Jill kind of know each other, so it was all fine. I was just like, that's really awkward. My camera's broken and she's gone and done it. The other awkward situation about that is that then Jools then brought it up on the live show and mentioned how my camera broke while I was doing the group shot on telly. So that was embarrassing. Everybody's grand. Everybody's all right. Everybody's just a person. Like, I've only been starstruck once. And that was when I photographed my idol, person who I admired growing up. And that was the only time I was really, anxious about it. But apart from that, I photographed a national icons, treasured people who, and everybody's so lovely. But you get 10 minutes, max 20 minutes if you're lucky. You're there 2 hours before the shoot, prepping everything, lighting everything, got your setups planned, you've worked it out, your exposures, that with your assistant. You've spoken to management, you've spoken to the photo editor, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do. We've planned out everything. The talent comes in. Talent's a strange word, isn't it? The talent comes in, you work with them. Sometimes they give you everything that you need, and sometimes they can be quite reserved, and it all depends on what sort of industry they're in. Actors are used to being a character themselves. When they have to be photographed as themselves, it's a wee bit trickier. You know, they're a bit like, oh, well, how do I do this? It's a bit like me being interviewed now. It's like, how do I sit and talk normally and sound like me? But like, then obviously with musicians, they like, pop stars are different. Pop stars are a whole different world. They are themselves as a pop star. That's fine. They can come and strut their stuff, and they've got a team of people that tell you that they look good. So, and then you've got, but a rock star or something like that, they always have like there's a guitar on them or the microphones. When they don't have that, they feel naked. So you've got to give them that little blanket or something to kind of hook onto. But yeah, it's great fun, and you know, they always give you good stories. Everybody's different, so you've got to read the room, you've got to read the person to kind of find their little nuance or something, or find that little connection. And 9 times out of 10, it's that you've got 2 minutes to do that connection. You go, how you doing? I'm like, oh, how you doing? All right, nice to meet you. Come on in, sit down there. Right, we're going to do this. Right, fab. Oh yeah. And then you build that rapport within minutes. And you make them relax. Yeah, so my secret of getting the little window to their soul is me being me. I'm not hiding anything. I open up that door by me being me. What I love about myself. God, there must be something. I'm going to say, okay, I'm in love with myself because of my attitude. I'm pretty chill. I'm very excited at times. I'm also very open. Don't really hide anything. And I like that. I like how I am with people. Yeah, my attitude. I love my attitude. I don't like my procrastination. I'm a little daydreamer and I procrastinate about things, and I'm so thrilled with myself when I actually get things done. I like doing everything, but I go, I'll do that later. There's no need to do it now. I'm like, well, the little voices have to tell me, like, just do it now. Why send that bloody email now? You don't have to send it tomorrow. And that's, yeah, so my procrastination is my biggest enemy. If I didn't have a camera, I don't know how I'd tell a story of words, so I couldn't do it fully, and it wouldn't happen. How I'd tell a story would be through ideas. And not necessarily with drawing or with written ideas down, but I always have ideas. And it might not be about photography, it might even be technical, it might be even mechanical, it might even be a script idea or a synopsis or something. But ideas is how I would tell my stories and what I'm thinking of at that point in time. And it all comes from my procrastination and my daydreams. It's like ideas are my vehicle to me being excited. Yeah, oh, that's a great idea. You should do that. Right, how are we going to make that happen? And those ideas that don't always get off the ground, but I think if I was to tell stories in a very loose and strange way, I think it comes down to my ideas. First goal is to secure a new client. The second goal is to produce more personal work. The third target is to stop saying yes to everything that comes in and say more no. Because there's some things I don't need to do, and it's a waste of time. Yeah, so 2026, I don't want to run around London trying to do multiple jobs that aren't really worth it. We all need the cash jobs, don't get me wrong. We all need the jobs that spin the wheel, keep us ticking over. But I think if I have elevated clients, I get a lot of repeat business, so I need to find more repeat business. So that's target number 1. But by doing that and finding those, I have more time then to do personal work. And by saying no, it gives me more time to do more personal work as well. So that's it. It's all collective to make one goal, which is just do more work for myself. So the 3 goals are that, to make one more. Yeah. The title of my life. Fuck it, that'll do. Are we allowed to swear, by the way? Are we allowed to swear? I've asked too late, isn't it? Last question. Are we allowed to swear? That's it. Title of my life. Are we allowed to swear? Can I get away with that? Title of my life would be That Was Painless. Done. Simple. Subtitle. He thought it was all right. Close.
Thank you. Yeah, you felt like I was coming out of the car.